chart review for today. I only took 2 trades today. One was live in the Discord, called out. The other was just on myself. I saw Milky took calls, so I was already looking at calls. I followed it and I took it with her. So this morning we had very bad news on Forex calendar. It just wasn't good at all. The market was very bearish. GDP did not come out good. Inflation isn't recovering. There's a lot of big important earnings tonight that came out. So there's a lot of fear in the market. So I was pretty bearish after the bad news. This was around 8:30, 8:45, right? And then 9 hit, and that's when everything really we see in pre-market. Yeah, 8:30, the news comes out and we see a sink. So we talked about market open probably like 9:28, 9:29. We were talking, and I was saying in chat and on voice that I'm very bearish at the beginning, but I'm going to wait a couple of minutes because I don't want to take the short right away because the contracts are going to be juiced. I'm going to get fucked on a fill. I want to wait for at least, if I miss it, I miss it. That is what it is. I want to wait for green candles, maybe a buy up, a little buying pressure at open, or a little bit of consolidation where I can feel a little safe. So around 9:33, 34, we had our first 3, 4, 5 candles on the 1 minute. We saw a little consolidation here after a big sell-off. I was not convinced. It was not able to go over VWAP all of pre-market, and we had it really fucking sunk. So on this green candle, I got a really good fill on the 190 puts, and it sunk. So I entered because I was bear sentiment, bad news. The market there's no way it was going to go up. It had to go down. So I'm not going to enter on a red candle. If I am selling, so if I'm shorting, I'm entering on strength of the upside. So we see a little bit upside here. I'm going to sell on a green candle instead of selling on a red candle. It's the same thing as like if you're looking for the long, you're going to take the long on a red candle. You want to buy into pressure or buy into strength. So we had a little green pump. It was just a wick. It didn't scare me out. Took the put. We sunk. We lost the lower band. And the first sign of consolidation right here, even if it's on the 1 minute, so it's only 1 or 2 minutes, I was okay, I'm going to scale here. This was around 30-40%. Bump came down. My cut would have been if it touched former consolidation. So first we hit down, we start to consolidate here. I'm up 30-40% here. I'm selling. So let's say I don't know how many cons I bought. I'm just gonna say around 10. So say I bought 10. 4 cons, I'm out of here, right? So I have 6 contracts left. We fall down again. Boom. A little consolidation. It doesn't want to retest this, so I'm safe. We push back down. I'm selling here on this big red candle. I'm selling more. This was like 50%. We're down here. We push down. It went like 100%, but I sold fully out around here. I was done. I think my fill, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put it up on the screen. I sold around 62%, 64%, fully out here. Boom, that was a short. To go back over it, I took it. Bearish sentiment all morning, waited for a little consolidation so I'm not getting screwed on an entry. Green candle, took the short down, scaled each time a little consolidation. I was out. I was basically done for the day. I took calls. You could say this right down here could have been a double bottom. All right, I'm not going to trust it. I like to play VWAP. I was going to wait for it to try to reclaim VWAP. So at this first break, right here at VWAP, this was around 10:30, so it was an hour after the market. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch for calls. I'm not going to take it because it's the first break. We had to fall down. We had to retest and another retest. So this is where we talk about. I like candles to fully close under VWAP in the 1 minute before I go in fully. So even though we're kind of breaking it, I need a candle to go fully over, right? We lost it. We couldn't really close a candle fully below it. So if one of these candles showed some pressure, I could have took the short. I didn't. There was some good news coming out. We were having trade talks with China, all this stuff. So it was starting to stack up that there was good news coming. This candle right here, this little red candle, I was like, okay, I'm going to take the calls here. You know, we had the little red candle. Like I said, if I'm going to the long, I like to buy in on red candles. If I'm going to the short, I like to buy in on green candles. So we had a nice red candle here, testing VWAP, held VWAP up here, so it didn't wick and go through it. It was a 3 candles fully in. I took the 193 calls. And that's when we absolutely soared. That's when Trump was speaking. We have really good news. I was like, all right, I'm going to hold this. I think I took like 5 or 6 cons because I was low on buying power because I went pretty heavy this morning. First scale was the upper band. I like to use the bands when I'm scaling, especially when we have a good trend like this. First band, it was like 40, 45, 42% around there. That was my first scale. So we bounce up, we reject down, and so I was like, all right, I will be fully out at my scale point if we close a full candle under the upper band. That's what I like to use. Couldn't do that, so I was like, all right. Started to see some consolidation here, and it was 11:30, about to be lunchtime. I did not want to risk chop. I was back to like 40-ish% here, so I was fully out there. I was done out with my trade for 40%. So I sold half here at the scale, sold my rest here, and it was a good day. But yeah, that was basically it. The rest was kind of choppy. I mean, you could play ranges, like if you do what I like to do with scalp, you lose lower band, you're in the short. You know, you take 20%. Right, you're up here, upper band, you really lose it with a candle under it, you're short. I didn't want to scalp today. I've been doing really good, just doing one and dones or like 1 or 2 plays with perfect setups, and that's basically what we did. Yeah, but that's chart review for the day. It's very simple, quick summary. Took the puts because of all the bad news. It was horrible news this morning. I didn't trust it. I scaled at little signs of consolidation just to be safe. I took the long once we broke over re-up finally and actually had some buying volume. The volume was very big too, so I trusted it and scaled at little signs of consolidation. I was fully out because it was almost lunchtime, and we know it likes to get a little choppy, and I wasn't risking that anymore. But yeah, that's basically chart review for the day. We're gonna do this every day at 5:30. So I got my new mic, so hopefully you guys heard me all good. And yeah, that's it.